This is the second podcast in the digestive enzymes, and the last one we're going to talk about are the enzymes that break down carbohydrates, and these are called carbohydrases. Remember that enzymes all end in A's, and these are found in two places. These are found in the mouth, e.g. amylase, and found in the small intestine, and that is pancreatic amylase. So they are slightly different in that one is produced by the salivary glands and one is produced by the pancreas. And they both do the same job though. They turn starch into simple sugars. Carbohydrases break down carbohydrates into simple sugars, and amylase in particular breaks down starch into simple sugars. But let's just unpack that slightly. Carbohydrates, like proteins, are in fact a chain of simple sugars. So for example, a simple sugar is glucose, and in fact starch is a chain of glucose molecules. And like the enzymes before us, the enzymes attack the joins of the simple sugars, and amylase attacks the joins to create just the individual simple sugars. Okay. Now, I'd like you actually to say that amylase breaks down starch into simple sugars rather than specifically glucose, because it actually breaks down the starch into slightly smaller pieces and then something else breaks them down into glucose. So starch into simple sugars would be the best way to describe it. And in terms of the way that these enzymes work, the pH required for amylase is just around 7.2, just above neutral. So in the mouth, saliva is about that pH, and in the small intestine, bile is added to make it alkaline, Okay? So once again, we've got a situation where the enzymes will function to a different level if they're in the right pH. If you put amylase in the stomach, which is an acidic pH, because of the hydrochloric acid, amylase wouldn't work. So there is the last of our enzymes. Carbohydrases specifically break down carbohydrates, and there's lots of different carbohydrates and sugars, but the one we need to know about is the carbohydrase is amylase, which breaks down starch into simple sugars, and those simple sugars are small and therefore can be absorbed into the blood, and for sugars they will be used for energy stores and for respiration if they get turned into glucose. So that is carbohydrases, and more specifically amylase.